What was it like to speak in front of all these folks today?
Well, Russ, it was truly exciting. Obviously, a great honor for me and for all the folks that I represent there in Western North Carolina. We were, totally excited about it, and I guess the other thing is the energy in the room was certainly energizing for me, and it's just a pleasure to be with you and have the opportunity to get to talk with you now.
Well, there's virtually a very limited audience in terms of who's actually seeing you today. How do you resonate that into Western North Carolina? How does that make a difference in terms of getting people to the polls if you're in Florida and nobody's really seeing that speech?
Well, it's interesting you would say that. It's probably, I've gotten probably 40 or 50 text messages within just the last few minutes from supporters and people across the district. Some that were watching that I had no idea would be watching, and really it's all about the energy level and the excitement. There's an excitement about taking back our country. There's an excitement about working towards fixing the way that Washington does business. And so with that, obviously with the social media and the way things travel around the internet, obviously more people will see it. But it's really more about the excitement of those that are supporting us and obviously seeing how it's an important district for Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan to pick up, and the emphasis that they put on it as well.
Now, Governor Chris Christie, you probably heard earlier today, said that North Carolina is a state of consequence. We're one of the few states that could make an actual difference in this election. What does that mean on a local level for you?
Well, it means that we're going to have to work hard and not take anything for granted. As you know, Russ, I've been campaigning for almost a year. It's really all about getting our people out to make sure that they call, and a grassroots effort to make sure that they get the folks out to vote. But the other part of that is it's about keeping the energy level and not taking anything for granted. When you're so far ahead, a lot of times people just stay home and say, my vote doesn't count. Well, I'm here to tell you every vote counts, and certainly if this message is to the folks there in Western North Carolina, is to make sure that they know that it's important for job growth in the economy that we do business different and stop doing things the Washington way and start doing it in a business-like approach and create some jobs.
There's been a whole lot of focus on rape and abortion in these upcoming weeks to the RNC convention. Do you think there's too much of a focus on those issues and not enough on the economy?
Well, what it really comes back to, our values are our values. In Western North Carolina, obviously, are value voters. But really what happens is we've got people that are losing their homes, can't find a job, or underemployed. Really, that's what it's all about. And truly, if we speak about caring about those folks, it's about putting them back to work. And we've had, we've got 9.6 unemployment in North Carolina, the fifth highest in the country. And so we need to care about that, but not at the expense of the values, but put the focus on jobs. We have a jobs plan that we believe will put people in Western North Carolina back to work, and that's what it's all about.
Now, you mentioned in your speech just a little while ago that the Constitution is too noble to be rewritten, but part of the GOP platform, it has been a possible constitutional amendment banning abortion. So, would you support that particular change to the Constitution?
Well, when we really get to that is obviously that's part of the platform, and I'm a pro-life candidate and believes that you need to stand up for those that don't have a voice. But in doing that, really what I was referring to there is we can't allow liberal judges to continue to interpret the Constitution and make it say what really our founding fathers didn't say that it said. We know that the original intent was what it is, and to allow liberal judges to do that, we can't do that. And that's really specifically what I was addressing. If 2/3 of the states and ratify an amendment, that's the people talking. That's what a representative form of government is all about. And honestly, if that's not the way it is, then certainly the Constitution stays right where it is. But one or two judges making a decision that affects all of us is not what a representative form of government is all about.
So how long are you planning to stay down in Tampa?
I've got a couple of more speeches tomorrow to give, and then I will come back very early on Thursday, because I've got people in the district, actually people I'm meeting with, and one speech on Thursday night. And so as we're looking at this, you know, it's about getting back into the district and making sure that we shake as many hands and meet as many people as we possibly can. So I'll be coming back early Thursday morning.
How close do you feel like this race really is between you and Hayden Rogers?
Well, you know, I've been running since day one as if I'm in last place, Russ. You know, I've shared that with you before, and we're very optimistic about our chances. Obviously, Hayden is a worthy opponent, and we're not taking it lightly. And in spite of the district being one that would be more in my favor, we know that it's all about representing people, and what we've got to do is shake enough hands and share our message with enough people that hopefully that will resonate, and on November 6th we will have the majority of those votes. We're optimistic. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you concerned about people who might strike the ballot as straight Republican or straight Democrat at this point?
Well, you know, I don't think it's about being Democrat or Republican. You know, I think people are tired of politics as usual. You know, when we start to look at that, it's all about really who has the best plan for jobs. We've articulated that. You know, who really has the care and concern and wants to do things differently than the way they've been done in Washington, D.C., and that's really what we're all about. And so whether it's Democrat, Republican, we are very excited about the number of Democrats and unaffiliated that are voting for us, even though, you know, I'm a Republican representing the Republican ticket. But, you know, even on our signs, we talk about the fact that I'm a conservative candidate, and really that bodes well across Western North Carolina.
Well, I want to ask you about that, because you can't win this election without the independents, and we have a lot of very moderate independents. As such a conservative, how do you convince them to vote for you?
Well, you know, here's the thing is that's a misnomer that's saying, okay, well, gosh, you're a conservative and unaffiliateds are really all moderates. And when it comes to jobs, we understand that government bailouts don't work, the fact that the government trying to create jobs hasn't worked, and the fact that we need to allow small businesses to prosper again and get regulation off the backs of businesses. So if you explain being a conservative in that fashion, both Democrats and unaffiliated, that message resonates with them, and they say, you know, they're all for who will help them put a paycheck back in their wallet, and we have a plan to do that, Russ, and that's resonating well across Western North Carolina.
Do you think this is going to end up being a money race between you and Rogers at the end of the day?
You know, I don't think so. I would hope not. You know, obviously our founding fathers didn't look at money being the issue, but you know, when you think about, we've got 750,000 people that we need to reach. If I spent just $1 to reach each one of them, that was $750,000, and that's a lot more than we ever imagined. But hopefully it's not a money race. But obviously we're out there raising money and making sure that we have the funds necessary to spend with WLOS and make sure that we get our message out to the population. But if it comes down to a money race, we're going to do our best, and we have been raising a lot of money within the district, and are real optimistic about that.
All right, Mark Meadows, thanks so much. Enjoy your time there. We'll see you back here soon.
All right, thanks, Russ. Appreciate you having me on.